Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Javier in the Air. This is season 5, episode 2. We're going to have a nice trash in the hood for you. I haven't been able to get out much. This past week was absolutely horrible when it comes to weather and the opportunity to get out, which means I have to get out even more next week. It was down into almost zero, almost negative in some days in the morning. I know one day when I was out commuting, it was 14 degrees with the real feel of 1. Yes, and I'm still in the Cedar Park area, close to Austin, so that is absolutely crazy. However, we did make it through the week, so I'm glad everybody did. And it's still cold, but it's supposed to start warming up here in the next couple of days. So wish us luck. And so, Trash in the Hood, we're going to have our Zen moment, and then we're going to have an extended spirit time because we did do a port tasting last week. That's right, a port tasting. So, it's going to be very good. Let's get to it. Trash in the Hood. Dark Frog Social Media presents Trash in the Hood, week 77. Hey everybody, welcome to week 77, day 1. So, interesting amount here. Of course, all the little bits and junk and paper and plastic and metal and everything, but there was some Dutch, like Swisher Sweets cigarillos in the top left, and so I found that to be very interesting on that day. And then we come to week 33. You see in the two circles there, one was some mini liquor bottles, and then one was a watermelon raspberry vape, one of those fancy vape pens, which I still don't get why some of the kids or whoever are throwing them away when they're actually rechargeable. Probably because of parents or something. And then on this day, day 4, I found a pair of boots, ladies' boots, a larger mini liquor bottle, and then a bunch of sparklers. They didn't work very well, so probably somebody just got mad and threw them out. They were just on the ground, so it was a crazy week for weird things. So there you have it, week 77 of my Trash in the Hood. So unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier in the program, there is no week 78. So week 78 is actually going to start tomorrow, due to the fact that it was next to impossible to get out when it was in reasonably warm in any way, shape, or form, because it wasn't on any of the days last week. Like I said, when I was commuting at 6:30 in the morning, it was a real feel of 1, and the wind was whipping around. And in fact, the very next day, I believe we got ice. There was ice on some of the rooftops when I left for work that day. So I wasn't able to get out. I know that's no real excuse, but that's the only excuse I have. So we'll be starting up again starting tomorrow. I believe it's supposed to rain, but I think I can get out in between some of the storms as I'll be working at home. Okay, so now let's go to our Zen moment, because I really want to talk a little bit about the port. And so I want to get that port tasting in. This is going to be a short but sweet episode. So for those of you who think maybe even 30 minutes is too long, I'm probably going to be quite under that. But still, let's get to it with our Zen moment. Hey everybody, welcome to a special spirit time. This time, poured wine tasting. So here are some of the the initial submissions, I should say, for the people who first came in. That jug on the far left was used for some port poached pears, which turned out really nice. So I wanted to show the wine here on it. So these aren't in the particular order yet, but they are at the butcher block in my kitchen. So I was just wanting to get a pre-competition shot. So once we moved into the competition, these were the first five. So you have an awfully 10-year tawny, bin 27, which is a ruby. The white bottle is actually a rosé port, which was interesting. And then you have two different Carvalhas, which show both limited bottle vintage, but one was 2018 and one was 2022. So that did make a difference. The special reserve smaller bottle was the one from 2022. So both very good ruby ports. So here we are. We're about 6 bottles in now. So as you see, we added Sandeman, which was a ruby port as well, which turned out to be very nice. There you see some old soldier port bottle tops. And as the night went on, we were sure to stop every couple of bottles so that we could cleanse our palate, because port can be very heavy on the palate, especially if you're tasting so many of them. So we weren't doing a heavy tasting like a full little Dixie cup, but it was enough to definitely wet the whistle. So here is the full spread, I believe. I think we have one missing on this shot. But there you see, after the Sandeman was another Sandeman, and then Odema, 10-year tawny port, which is fantastic. And then we have Texas Hills, and then we had Messina Hoff. So very interesting. All of them were fantastic, and we just really enjoyed ourselves as the night went through. And then you see, I wanted to see the winner, which was the second from the right, which was Odema. Odema is one of my favorite port wines. It's a 10-year tawny. Don't get the 20-year. Stick with the 10-year. And it was really fantastic. It's well on the palate. Finishes well, starts well, and overall was just fantastic. So congratulations to Krista, who won the best of show for the port wine tasting. Hey everyone, so that was our port wine tasting of last weekend. This weekend I did do a little bit something extra. I didn't have any real photos of it, but I went out to the Pavlowski's family barn. I'll just call it that, a barn dominium type of thing. Spent some time out there playing Moon and just hanging out and enjoying the outside and a little getaway. So we had a great time. I think I wound up $5 up for James and Zaida to let them know. I think I won $5 up for the weekend after playing hours and hours of Moon. So it was again a really cold weekend. Expected to warm up again into the 50s, 60s. I think even a high of 75 on one of the days this week, which is not too crazy for late January 2024, or late January period for our area. It's really February that starts picking up the craziness. So I'm going to be looking into what I can do to try to continue walking during the times when it gets cold. So for those of you who may be interested, the next tasting is going to be bourbon. I believe we have done this before, but it's been quite a few years. So if you live in the Cedar Park area and wish to partake in the bourbon tasting that we're going to be doing, please send me a message and I'll get back to you. I haven't picked a date yet. I need to go through scheduling and see where I can get the most amount of people. So again, if interested, let me know. So this is episode 2 of the new year. I know I've skipped a couple of weeks and I apologize for that. I'm still trying to get my footing this year, which has been really difficult for some reason, to try to get new ideas and new topics and new trends and new things to get going for the show. Since this is season 5, I'm quite interested in trying to get something new, brand new for the show, change it up, try to get some more guests on here, maybe some co-hosts, maybe some people that are passionate about certain topics that'd like to be on the show, mom and pop places, that sort of thing. So keep me in mind if you hear somebody who wants to get going on YouTube as well. I can show them how, plus I can have them on the show. All right, so I'm going to cut this into a very, very short show. It shows you how much the cold has been affecting things for me here. It's also been just causing me to try to figure out what I need to do on the show to get it back to a 30-minute format. So I will be cutting this short, and I wish everybody a good end of January, basically, now. And have a good rest of your week. Stay warm, stay dry, and I'll see y'all again next week. Thanks a lot, everyone.